Hi, are there any tips or tricks or builds that can make the early to mid game easier? Well, I do have some. Here, let me show you. It's the Gundam Heavy Arms and the Missile Heavy Arms. Let me show you the Missile Heavy Arms first. Okay, these two builds will probably actually make fighting boss and mobs as easy as possible in the early game to mid game. Maybe a bit of late game. So this is a Tetrapod build, and the main purpose of a Tetrapod build is that it can stay in the air, but floating, right? By pressing jump again when you're in the air already. So you want to stay floating as long as possible. So to achieve this as efficiently as possible of what I built, you will need these parts, but feel free to customize it to your liking and depend on the boss you are fighting. And these parts can all be unlocked after clearing the first chapter of the game. Like I did here, I will put the build ID in the description below, so you guys don't need to have to, look through your your assembly inventory one by one and manually putting it on. So both the builds that I'll be showcasing here were inspired by Gundam Heavy Arms, with the colorway here looking similar to the mobile suit, and I think the playstyle is like the Heavy Arms, instead the Heavy Arms is on the ground. And why not? So the first build is all about staying in the air and being a menace to society by spamming your missiles. The build works really well if you are against mobs, as all of your weapons can multi-lock and do heavy damage. So first we will focus on the weight of the AC. Yep, you can press the toggle display button here, mine's triangle. I think it's F on the keyboard. So the weight of the AC here, you will want it to be as light as possible. And the head, right here, the headpiece right now is probably the lightest possible in the game, so use this one here. The arms is also the same. The core here, let's go to the core. The core here is important since it does have the stat here. We're gonna look at the generator output. So you want this to be higher on the core so that the energy supply efficiency is also high. This means that the higher the energy supply efficiency, the faster your battery will recharge after dropping onto the ground. And to do that is to have an energy output higher than the total energy load. And to do that, it's to have a higher generator output right here. So use this one for now after clearing chapter 1. And for the focus over here, I chose the P10 SLT Focus G2 as you're more of a missile frame. So the missile lock correction here should be the best here, 150. Yeah, it's the best one. And also the generator will be the VP20D. Not much to say since, it is the best. It has the best energy supply efficiency. Look at the stat when I go to other ones. All red. 3.7k is the best one after 9.1. So use that. And assault armor for high stagger damage. Classic. And the booster, not much you can do with the booster for now in chapter 1. I think this is the most balanced one for now. You can use different booster, like upper thrust. You want higher upper thrust, use that one. But I only use this because of the upward energy consumption is low compared to the rest, and also its weight, it's lighter, and yes, it is lighter, definitely lighter, and it's also the best energy supply efficiency. And now for the weapon. This is the fun part. So the missile launcher on both the right arm and left arm. Equip these two. You might get more in the future, but I think these two right now are the best for this build, as this is the lightest it can get, and it's also energy efficient. So use these two, and you can unlock this after clearing that final boss in chapter 1. And for these two, you can change. You can change it to however you like, the back units. Having two different launcher will reduce the energy supply efficiency, because if you choose the two heavy ones, yes, this is the heavy one. If you equip the BLG, G1, PO3, whatever this is, right? Your energy supply will be lower and your weight will be higher. That's why I used the lighter version of this to balance it out. But I guess the you know, a good threshold for the energy supply efficiency will be around 7 to 8k. I just went 9k since I want to stay in the air more. You can also replace these two right back units with laser cannons since it allows you to stay in the air forever. But I would rather use the laser cannon on the other Tetrapod build, the actual Gundam Heavyarms that I have, that I'm going to show you next as a substitute. Gundam Heavyarms. So for this build, it has the same concept as the first one, as less weight as possible, high energy efficiency so it can recover energy quicker after the battery runs out, and the big difference here is the minigun and cannons at the back, songbirds and the miniguns. Oop. And songbirds. This is probably my favorite build. This build will do insane single target damage as it staggers enemies in like 2 seconds, and the songbirds will then do massive amount of damage after during the stagger state. For the frame, I changed it a little bit since the weapon here is a bit heavier, so I adjusted it accordingly, but feel free to change it around and play with it a bit as well. The focus is also a bit different since it doesn't need missile lock-on stat anymore, and I would rather prefer the medium range assist as stats instead, so I can do more damage with the minigun and the songbird. Also, to top it off, you can equip this AC with assault armor again to stagger the enemy quicker. And yeah, that's about it. This is the boss killer here, the Gundam Heavyarms, and the missile one, the missile Heavyarm, is more of a mob wiper. Yeah, that's it. That's it, chat and peeps on YouTube. Have fun with these builds and feel free to change it accordingly to your liking. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. And don't forget, the ID will be in the description below. See ya! Oh, not on Twitch. Twitch, I'll still be here. Don't worry.